It has occurred to me that I am not like most people, trapped in a cycle that every season, no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to escape from. You ever put on a new anime with your friends that everyone's been hyping up for the last 2 months, and one of them's always like, guys, I read the manga for this, you guys are not ready. So you kick that guy out and go in with pretty hopeful expectations, and everyone in the room absolutely loves it, even you love it too, but after a few minutes, the horrifying reality sets in, and you're reminded by the same problem that you've tried to forget modern anime has had for the last 5 years, rearing its ugly little head into this show too. You pause the show for a second to explain yourself because you don't want to admit that you're the crazy one, but instead, they just stare at you, hopelessly confused by your problem to a point where even when they try, they still have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So then later that night, you go Googling to look for any reassurance, but contrary to what you were hoping for, somehow find yourself locked even further down this existential nightmare of other people praising your issue and having the audacity to call it a good thing? I was watching the fall 2022 seasonal anime Do It Yourself recently, and don't get me wrong, this anime is pretty good, but as much as I was trying to ignore it, there was just something about the voice acting that wouldn't leave me alone no matter how hard I tried, and I just need someone else to tell me that this is normal. They just sound too close to the mic. It sounds like they're attempting to give me ASMR without the whispering, and it's weird because this problem has nothing to do with the voice actors themselves. The microphones and soundproofing of the studios that they record in have just gotten so refined to a point where the audio sounds more crisp than real human voices sound in real life. Like these characters are outside on their way to school with the wind so strong that it's literally blowing these girls off their feet, yet it still sounds like they're talking inside a soundproof stage, which they are, but when they're practically in the middle of a hurricane, then why does it still sound like they're trying to record a podcast? The worst part about this is I don't even know who's at fault. Is it the sound engineers, the microphones, the soundproofing? I mean, I'd be astonished if it was the seiyu's fault, considering this is literally every single new anime. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately actually, Do It Yourself's case isn't even that bad. The worst offender of this, by far, happened when I watched Re:Zero Season 2. There's something about the way that Amelia and Subaru say their words with this very pronounced pop sound whenever there's a p, s, or t. Hold on, these guys are on a moving caravan being pulled by fairy tale dragon fucks on a gravelly dirt road, so why do their voices still sound so close to my face, like they're on the verge of biting off my earlobes? Shouldn't there be some atmospheric tension surrounding what they're saying? If you have a pair of super nice $300 headphones or something, I implore you to try listening to your favorite music or podcast on a commercial jet hurtling 36,000 feet above sea level at 600 miles per hour and letting me know if it sounds any different than if you were sitting alone with the door closed in your room. It feels like these voices are coming from an entirely different dimension, and I'm just being held hostage in my chair, forced to suspend my disbelief that the great hall these characters are talking in doesn't sound the exact same as that one-room apartment they were chatting in the scene prior. Where's the atmosphere? Why is nobody in the background talking? I feel like it must get pretty awkward to just stare at each other like this back and forth for 5 minutes. I mean, I understand that to some extent you need to tone down, let's say, a jet engine, because yeah, it makes sense why no one would want to hear that, but at least stay mindful of the fact that you're still on a plane, because when your decision to remove ambience takes me more out of the experience than if it was there to begin with, then it just feels fucking weird. I skipped midway into the first episode for The Detective Is Already Dead, because I remembered seeing some random Sakugaboru gif last year of these guys fighting on a jet, and I literally couldn't tell whether these guys were in the air, had just landed, or were still preparing for takeoff. There was so little background noise or sound design that I had to rewind to the beginning of the episode just to confirm from this ugly-ass CGI plane shot that yes, they are indeed 8 miles up. Japanese voice acting has just gotten so good at sounding natural to a point where it sounds less natural than real life, because this quest for perfection has left no room for imperfection, and I think I need help. If listening to this video ruined your ears, then I guess I've done my job, so sorry about that. Don't forget to join the notification squid, and thank you to my super mega Bazaka Ilya fan, why do you ask? And thank you to my super mega Ilya fans, Al Karenchi, Bruno Bucciarti, DE Rats, Arya on the Planet, Emma, Cal, MHub47, Min Min Mancha, Omar, Red Raccoon, Sheena, the Epic Droid, and thank you to all my other patrons, bye!